All right, we are recording now. So I am with Kevin and Americ, and I'm very excited because they have some very exciting news to share. But before we get to that, I want to hear about what your guys' life was like before Axiom.
Busy.
Busy.
Busy, but
Yes.
yeah, just trading time for dollars type of deal, you know.
Yep.
We wanted to do something together. So
Yeah,
she's the better
he
company.
wanted to do something together.
And you're like, I guess I'll do it. I guess. Like, how are we going to handle kids? And you're both therapists. So
Right,
Correct.
right. Yeah.
Correct.
So you only work like, 5 hours a week or something.
Right, some
Yeah.
little thing like that.
Yeah, like between
Just a little
5
thing.
and 70 hours a week, you know.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere in there.
I think before Axiom, we were always looking for something different, but and Kevin really wanted to do something together, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to do something on my own, and I think probably like just like him kind of pushing me. I think actually it's turned out to be like how it should be. Because I think like at our age, like you can kind of start to drift apart. And that is when you have a business with someone, that doesn't happen at all. Like it can, but not for us. Like I think it's actually brought us even closer together.
Right.
For sure. I know that. And I see like people our age starting to drift, get divorced, all that stuff. And we never wanted that, but I can actually see how that can happen.
Sure.
So,
and this was one of the things that kind of forced you guys to have to work together, because you're like, well, I guess we're gonna. Okay, thanks, Kevin. I guess we're working together.
Whatever.
I guess we're gonna have to make this work.
We do therapy together, but the real reason, Luke, is she had her own coaching business, so I couldn't let her up me. I had to get something. I had to create a business. Right.
Yeah. I tried.
So I had to keep the ledger.
Right. Keep the got it. Right.
Whatever he says.
Whatever he says. Sure, Kevin. So what was it like going through the program? What was life like going through the program?
It was really hard. I don't care what he says, but I think like this.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard, but it was definitely worth it.
No, it was for sure. But like this summer was not fun. Like not to mention like we're going through COVID and like the height of pandemic, like all that. Because like Kevin is working with people with COVID and like all that stuff. So that was like always on our, hearts and like all that stuff. And then Kevin wouldn't let me go ahead in the training. He made me get up every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning and do the training with him. And if I even like went ahead, like I got in trouble. So like there was a lot of fighting. I was bad. Yeah, It was really bad.
Yeah.
But we got through the training and
doing it together.
Yes, we did it together. Even those tests. If Todd ever goes back and looks at those tests, we literally, like, if we didn't get 100, he would make us take it again. Right. Kevin, not Todd. Like,
yeah. Yep.
So, but after that, I feel like once we did all that, we got through the weeks and we started to kind of like, muddle through in the beginning. And now I feel like it was like the best thing we did. Like we just had to put in such hard work, but now we're starting to see like, oh, we don't even, it's just starting to flow so much better. So but it was hard.
In the beginning, we just because we only had like 2 hours a day to devote to the business, right? So, being like all joking aside, we had a very limited amount of time.
Very little.
And that's why I didn't want her going ahead, and I wanted to just devote 2 hours, implement whatever we learned, and literally just like, just listen to what the training told me, put blinders on, and then with the time allotted. And that's why it was hard, because I wanted to go further, but then I had to go, treat patients.
Right. And you wanted to grow together at a similar pace.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing we learned is like we knew we were opposites, but we are literally opposites down to like learning styles, like every single thing. I mean, it's actually not shocking like how we stay together because we don't understand each other at all. Like, like
That's not true.
Well,
We
we-
compliment each
Yes,
other.
we do.
Yes.
We
You do.
compliment
You
each
do.
other.
You compliment each other very
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
But that was also that was hard for me, like
Yes.
to figure out like, oh, Kevin learns differently and
Sure.
processes stuff differently and thinks differently, and
Yeah.
so I had to do like a lot of ego like swallowing and just stop. So
Right. It uncovered a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
but it's been to your benefit. So now, I mean, you have some exciting news, which is
Yeah, so we've closed other deals, right?
Yes.
But we finally, we had our first deal that we, got the contract signed
start to finish.
back in November, beginning of November.
Right.
All right. Or actually, I think it was the day before Halloween. So it's
Gotcha.
just the end of October, beginning of November. And that started off. We had a title company that we wanted to use, and we were really trying to push our buyers to use this because they could really care less. They just didn't want to drive like
Sure.
an extra 20 minutes. And I
Sure.
was like, I think we should use this title company, but we went with the buyer's title company. And then it just turned into like a fiasco.
Yeah, it was like every step of the way, it was challenging. And I mean, we were questioning ourselves, like Axiom, like every week, I feel like for 4 weeks, we were like having personal conversations, like on the Thursday calls, like it would take like a half an hour to be like, okay, now what? What do we do?
Right.
So that was pretty awesome that we had that. Like,
Yes.
I think probably we would have given up because we didn't know how to move forward because it was so complex, and
Sure.
we didn't want to give up because that's not what we want to do. We don't
Yeah.
like to give up. It's not even in our like mindset to do that, but sometimes like you're like, you don't know what to do,
Right. You're like, is this one of those situations where I just gotta cut my losses type thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, the title company told us to do that.
Yeah, they did
Oh,
tell
wow.
us to do that.
They told us to cut our
Yeah,
losses.
they were like, no, stop.
and
we
then
were-
that
we
just
were
made
like,
me more
no.
determined to get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I felt like the title company just wasn't doing their job,
Yeah.
and they weren't doing
No.
their job. But so through the Thursday calls and perseverance and then the
just-
training, we just kept, okay, well, this is the problem. Where's the solution?
Right.
If we didn't know the solution or we didn't know what to do, we
Yep.
would just ask. And then
Yep.
we got
So
great
we
mentorship.
yeah.
was
So
awesome.
what did it take? Like
So
almost
last
3 months?
Thursday we finally closed, and we
Right.
got our check on Friday.
Yep.
It's
Because
a big title, a big assignment. So we
Yeah,
made
it was-
13,500, and it's on our wall. We made a copy of it.
I made a copy of it and I
Put it
put
on
it on my wall just so that it reminds me of how hard the first one was, but how
Right.
easy the other ones have been.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So that one took like, because it got October to now it's the end of February.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, it
That was-
closed
that
on
was-
February 18th in a snowstorm.
In a snowstorm. Just
Yes.
add that in
Yeah.
the snowstorm.
Of
And
course. That's a perfect ending.
Yes.
it really
That's
was.
just a perfect ending to like the
Yeah.
weather suck.
Yeah.
So
Like-
I woke up just to put another side note on that one. I woke up that morning. The closing's at 10 o'clock,
It
right?
was at 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was a decent snowstorm. It was like 8 inches, already
Yeah.
4 inches on the ground, and it was coming down the height of the snowstorm. So I called my seller up, and right away I woke him up. I knew it.
He was in a dead sleep.
So I called him at 8:30, and he's like, "Oh my God, my alarm didn't go off." I'm like, "Put your shoes on, get in the car."
And he's like an hour away from the title
The title
company.
company.
He was an hour late to his
Yeah, so he
closing.
got an hour late to the closing, but it all got done.
Whatever.
It
And
all-
we did have to hire a moving van
yeah,
and give our 18-year-old $100 to help us move his stuff out on Saturday, but we did it.
Yep.
And the big lesson here is our son Max doesn't want to be that guy who we moved out.
yeah,
So we're like, good,
yeah.
we are good. He's like,
And that you can literally not put a price on.
you
No.
cannot.
Like, good parent, you cannot put a good price on good parenting.
No,
No, you
no.
cannot.
Mm.
So it was,
That's awesome.
I mean, from start to finish, it was, now when I look at it, it was actually super fun. Like
yes.
it was insane and it was super stressful and
Yes.
I was like constantly stressed, but now I'm like, well, it can never really be that bad. I'm sure it can be that bad, but that's pretty bad.
It was a pretty bad. That was a hard one. Like I remember, that one was a hard one. And now going forward, like, will you come across other ones that are harder? Probably. But at the same time, like, there's not much you can't handle. Like now you know that there's really not much you can't handle.
Right.
Yep.
And you've done that. That was the first deal you got under contract, but you've done how many deals since?
So we've done 5 total.
5 total.
Yeah.
And that was since like
November.
the awakening moment in like October of like, oh, we need to switch roles. And then it was like, boom,
Yes.
everything clicked. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it was
you know,
October.
like and so it took us, you know, we started in the summer, and it
Yep.
took us multiple months to get, you know, like a good probably 10 weeks to get through the training, but we kept implementing
Yes.
whatever we learned. So we weren't actively marketing for, you know, for any deals, but I was talking to buyers.
Right.
I was talking to title companies, and we had all of that infrastructure was set up. And then once the deals, you know, once we had houses, it was just like that.
I mean, we literally
plug-in.
sold everything.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, we have like over 100 buyers on our list, and we just keep accumulating them. They're like begging us. They're like, please give us houses, you know, because they want to work for us. And we're like, we're trying, you know. So
we've been really refining our marketing.
And that although I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that actually, I feel like that makes us like more at ease doing it.
Yes.
Because we're doing it the right way. Like we're not, you know, like we don't get a house under contract and then we're like, oh, we're just like, we got one. All right, who wants it? It's
Who
like,
wants it? Here it
here's
is. The carrot. Who's gonna come? Okay, you want the carrot? You get the carrot. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's why I decided to go with Axiom in the Kingdom, because I've read a couple of different. I mean, we have zero experience
Like none.
from the beginning of this summer to now is the only experience that we've had.
Yeah.
Right. And I've done I read a couple of books, but when I read Todd's book, I love the concept of getting the buyer first. That's what real estate clicked for me. And then I knew wholesaling was something that I could fit into, like a niche that I could fit into the time that I had. And, but I didn't realize how much money you can make at it. Like it was crazy. Like, you know, like you literally, if you think about it, the 5 deals, you know, like since November, it's like $10,000 a month, you know, that's crazy.
I mean, and I think too, like we definitely, I don't, Kevin, maybe not, but I definitely have like that broke mindset. Like I can only make this amount of money, you know, and I'm getting better because like I'm really expanding my horizons and stuff. But I definitely am so grateful that I'm working on that aspect of that mindset. Because like I don't want to give that to my kids. And I think like being just in the box of a therapist, I think that is what you make. You're like, your job is worth a certain amount of money. And I no longer have to be like that. Like if I want to be a therapist, I'll be a therapist. But if I want to go make $100,000 wholesaling, I guess what? I can do it. Like it's not, you know, like it's my choice now, not like I have that ability. Like, and that's what Axiom gave. Like it gave us the ability to have an out.
Right. A vehicle. Yeah. We were always, I was always looking for a vehicle that created money, you know, on a part-time basis. And then now I'm looking at it, like I want to be a therapist part-time.
Right. Exactly.
And get the real, because you know, most people won't tell. I mean, listen, I do love what I do. I love treating patients. I love that atmosphere. However, anybody that tells you that they're not doing it for the money, they're lying. All right. You know, everybody. So if I can do something, make more money, spend less time, and then devote the time that I do have for my patients, and I'm not worried about the money aspect, it's win-win for me.
It's gonna make you a better provider.
Exactly.
Yeah. Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I really appreciate you coming on. These testimonials help a lot of people. So I'm so incredibly proud of you guys, and it's been a lot of fun walking through all of this with you guys and seeing your growth. So I'm looking forward to working with you more, and just excited for you guys. This is just so exciting.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all you guys do. It's amazing.
Well, thanks for doing it, because then it just makes it so fulfilling for us. We're like, yes, cool. We got another one.
It's very easy. Do what is in front of you.
Literally do it.
Follow the steps and don't try to, skirt it. Just do the steps. Plug and play. It works.
Yeah, it does. It works. Yeah, if
so proud of you
two
guys.
Therapists can do it. Literally, we're therapists.
Literally zero experience.
I think other people can do it. I mean, no experience at all. Like,
No, right. Yeah, exactly.
like I have a mortgage. Like that's my experience.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No,
That's
but
a good qualifier. I
yeah,
like
I could qualify. Yeah. The last thing I'll say though is
Yeah.
we've had multiple buyers tell us, they're like, we're so glad that you guys have been doing this for so long, because
Right.
a lot of our buyers that we've done deals with are brand new. And like they've never made a purchase, right? This is their first
Yeah.
investment.
Yeah.
And they're like, so we were so thankful that you've had your, so many years of experience. They just assumed that.
They
Assumed.
just assumed
Right.
Because
that,
we literally, we just had everything in order, everything
Yes.
lined up.
It was like the script. We were like the Todd script.
Yeah.
We were just like, and what would Todd do? Now what
Right.
would Todd do next?
Right.
Okay, and now next,
And then your buyers are like, oh my gosh, you've been doing this for how long? 16 years?
Right.
Right? You're like,
we're like,
no.
Yeah. They would ask me a question. I'd be like, page 54, what did Todd say?
Right.
And then I would go right back to that. And then, so,
Yeah.
and I actually did
Yeah.
give Todd, my brother who wants to do wholesaling now
Yeah.
too. I made him buy the, so
You had to
I
buy
made
it.
Todd buy Todd's book.
Fantastic.
So,
Yeah.
so you're welcome, Todd. But
You're welcome.
yeah. But when he read the book, he was like, oh my God, it's like you were writing the book, because I was explaining everything to him in the beginning. And then he was hearing the book. So it's pretty funny.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, thank you guys for taking the time to chat for a few. Really appreciate it. Love you guys.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next deal.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
On to the next one.
Thanks a lot,
Luke.
Luke.
Thanks, guys.